Yes.
Matt is the father of your baby.
Yeah.
That is a grown woman on television announcing that the baby inside her belongs to a man who is not her husband. The husband, sitting 3 feet away, is Gino Palazzolo, and this is the single most watched television marriage in America.
Outfit, by the
You
way,
are a cheating
you
wife.
don't look exactly
You are a cheating
as
wife.
you are a clown.
That was said to her at the tell-all about her outfit in front of Sean Robinson and a studio audience. And Gino sat there like she was on someone else's family plan.
Look, we are definitely getting a divorce.
Yeah. Gino is a 40-something guy from Canton, Michigan. In 2021, he signs up for 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 Days, the franchise's prequel series, for people whose relationships are so flimsy that even the normal amount of 90 days is too many. He flies to Panama. He meets Jasmine Pineda, Venezuelan-born English teacher, Instagram fitness model, language barrier somewhere between strong and theatrical. Within 48 hours, she is screaming at him about a woman named Lydia he had the audacity to once know. I can't find the other way to say, like,
No.
You were obsessed with her.
obsessed with a woman Gino has not spoken to in 9 years. This is the first argument they have known each other 2 days.
I don't want these stupid, awful colors. Who's gonna combine red and baby blue? What was she thinking?
She is also, I should mention, yelling at him about the paint colors on her own apartment walls. Red, baby blue, painted by someone else before Gino got to Panama on her lease. That is the caliber of thing that sets this woman off in the first 48 hours. Within a week, Gino has agreed to marry her. They move to Michigan. She goes back to Panama. He goes to Panama. They have a baby. The baby's name is Matilda. The baby's father, as we... Matt is described on the show variously as a friend, a best friend, and, at one magnificent point, a brother figure. I have known brother figures. None of them have impregnated me. So naturally, when the marriage begins its cinematic collapse, TLC does what TLC does, which is immediately greenlight another spinoff called 90 Day Fiancé, The Last Resort. Premise: struggling couples do a week of televised couples therapy at a Florida resort. Gino and Jasmine sign up. Of course they sign up. And it is on this spin-off that Jasmine, on camera, under stage lighting, presents what can only be described as the proposition.
As a matter of fact, I told him, you're either intimate with me, you agree to an open marriage, so I get this sexual need satisfied by another person, or we get divorced. And he opted for the open marriage.
He opted for the open, like it was a menu between the Caesar salad and the soup. He opted for the open. And here's where we stop laughing for a second, because Jasmine did not present him with an open marriage because she, in a theoretical sense, wanted to explore polyamory as a philosophical framework. She presented him with an open marriage because she had already met Matt.
That he would regret his decision to have an open marriage with Jasmine.
So Gino regretted his decision. And Jasmine, when confronted about it, responds the way Jasmine responds to any and all forms of accountability.
You're a liar. You're a scam artist.
Scam artist. She calls him a scam artist for sending her money, the money she lived on in Panama.
So that is ridiculous. First of all, that money that he claims, it was not even enough to support my lifestyle in Panama.
Support her lifestyle in Panama. Like, she is the regional head of operations. This is a woman whose English, which she teaches professionally to other Panamanians as a job, frequently describes her own romantic partners as mistress while meaning the other woman. And she is defending her Panamanian lifestyle from a man who bought her groceries.
I've been giving up my whole life to be here with him in Michigan. And we're supposed to be building a life together, one in which I can bring my kids into.
And yet, she gave up her whole life to be in Michigan. Ma'am, respectfully, if your answer to where are you building a life is Canton, Michigan, with a man whose face permanently suggests he just remembered he left the oven on. The bar is in Panama.
You're gonna go back to Panama.
You're a cheater!
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are!
I never.
Yes, you
But
are!
that's not cheating.
Take me out!
Yeah, I'm dropping you off.
Drop me off. I'm dropping you. That is a man in his own car being told by his wife that he is dropping her off at a McDonald's parking lot in what I can only describe as the Midwestern version of leaving someone at the altar. Gino did not drop her off.
Okay, you are a freaking clown.
Yeah, and you're a
That's
pregnant
what
whore.
you are.
And you're a pregnant whore. You take accountability
Kissing
for cheating
Gino's
on your husband
ass. Kiss-
and getting pregnant by another guy.
Right. Adjacent to the cheating, adjacent to the pregnancy, adjacent to being called a clown on network television by a man she does not know, whose name she has been using during sex with a different man, also named Matt, whose baby she is currently having. And I do want to be careful here because Jasmine is not uniquely unhinged. She is an archetype. The genre has a role for her. Foreign woman, combustible. She is not the first. She will not be the last. There is, in the 90 Day Fiancé extended universe, an entire pipeline of women from outside the United States who figure out within weeks of moving here that the American man they married was not, in fact, the business class version of himself that flew to meet them. Gino did not oversell himself. Gino undersold himself by a meaningful margin, and she still feels cheated.
Baby steps.
Baby steps, like more than baby steps, like snail steps, because after my traumatic experience with Gino, I just want to take it slow.
Snail steps, her traumatic experience with Gino, the man she called a scam artist for the groceries, who she locked into an open marriage on television for her friend Matt. I'm begging any therapist watching this to just blink twice if you are okay.
I love Darcy, and we are friends.
And the franchise, of course, gave Darcy her own spin-off. So we've now got Darcy's spin-off, Jasmine and Gino's spin-off, Jasmine and Gino's second spin-off, a third spin-off in pre-production, and a baby named Matilda who is going to grow up and Google her own parentage and find 17 hours of HD footage of her mother explaining the open marriage that produced her. The real villain here is not Gino. The real villain is not Jasmine. The real villain is the franchise machine that watched two people who, under basically any other circumstances, would have quietly broken up after one bad trip to Applebee's and decided their slow-motion dissolution was worth 3 spin-offs, a baby's worth of on-camera paternity reveals, and a TLC yearly revenue bump. TLC does not let marriages end. TLC ends them for content. So when you watch Gino, when you really watch him, what you are watching is not a husband. You are watching a franchise operate on a human being with no anesthetic. And when it is all over, when Jasmine is on her 4th season of a second show with Matt, when Gino is 70, when Matilda is asking the hardest question a child can ask, there will be an A&E documentary about this marriage. It will use all of this same footage. Gino will be interviewed from a lawn chair somewhere outside Detroit. He will be asked what he regrets, and he will look into the camera with the exact same expression, and he will say, I don't know. It's complicated. And it is complicated. It is the most complicated, simple thing on television. A nice man from Michigan opted for the open, and the whole country is still watching. If you made it this far, you either love me or you're looking for something to yell about in the comments. Either way, like, subscribe, and tell your sister.